So hi everybody, this is the module about taking things to the next level. We've spoken at length now about the mindset, and obviously in this section we've been talking a lot about body and all of the basics really, and the healthy habits and lifestyle changes that can get you to where you need to be in terms of working at optimal performance and operating physically as best as you potentially can. But there is another level, and that is about building muscle, making you much stronger and improving your aesthetics considerably, and that is about working out in the gym. Now I want to emphasize a couple of things. The first thing is that what I'm about to tell you is really just an overview of what has worked for me. It's what I've been taught by people that have trained me, by personal trainers. I am not currently a personal trainer myself, although I'm in the process of being accredited to be one. But what I can tell you is what's worked, because I've been working with a personal trainer for almost 18 months, and it's nice that I've now got to a point where I can be totally self-sustaining. I know enough. Weight training and training in the gym generally is certainly a skill to acquire. It's not something that you can just run in and do. So what I'm going to give you today is an overview of the sorts of things that I do, how they've worked for me, and how that has taken me to the next level. The truth is that you can achieve the vast majority of what you want to with your body in terms of weight loss and feeling fit and energetic by adopting the healthy lifestyles that I've mentioned. The healthy eating, better sleep, better hydration, and managing your stress levels and things like that. But if you do want to build muscle, you have to put your muscles under resistance, and that is not just body weight alone. It is heavier weights that you can isolate particular parts of your body, put them under strain, and if you do that, then they expand, i.e. they grow, and you end up with the sort of aesthetics that maybe some of us want, which is a more toned body with muscle definition. But let's just talk for a moment, not about what we've got here, which is the weight training area, but about cardio. You very, very rarely see me in the cardio section of any gym. And the reason for that is that really, if you think about it, cardio is about utilising energy. And so therefore the only time that you really want to be doing cardio, as far as I've been taught and in my experience, is if you are trying to utilise that energy. Why would you be trying to do that? Think about what you're taking in terms of food, and that is giving you energy. If you take in more than you actually use in energy, you're going to create an energy surplus. What happens with that surplus? It moves to fat. If on the other hand, you are wanting to lose some of that fat, then what do you need to do? Well, you need to actually expend more energy than you are taking in via food. And so that's really, in my opinion, the time that you would need to use a cardio room and to get onto a treadmill, is if you are just wanting to utilise those few hundred extra calories so that you can either maintain your weight or get yourself into an energy deficit and start to lose weight. I have definitely at the beginning of my programme utilised this method. I like to do at least 10,000 steps a day, as you know, and my target actually now has gone up beyond that. And at the beginning of my programme I was trying to do 3 20-minute runs per week as well. And if I couldn't manage that, either due to the weather or time or whatever and being very busy, then I would go into the gym and I would probably do an uphill fast walk on one of the cardio machines for about 15 minutes, or alternatively I would do a fast run. I would do things like dead treads, which is that you literally don't switch the cardio machine on, but you use your sheer force to move it, and you do that for 30 seconds and then you stop for 30 seconds and you do it again, and you repeat the process for 10. That is absolutely exhausting. You utilise a lot of energy. But those are the sorts of things that I would use in the cardio room. For a long, long time I was doing lots of cardio. I was running. I even actually ran the London Marathon. And although these things are therapeutic for other reasons and beneficial for other reasons, they're great in terms of camaraderie, and you do utilise all of that energy that you're taking in. It clears your mind and all of those good things. It doesn't get you where you need to be in terms of operating to optimum efficiency and strength and energy and everything else, and that's really what we're about. Getting back to here, what this is about, as I said, it is about taking things to the next level, and that is really about increasing your strength and improving your aesthetics. I'm going to tell you a little bit now about the programs that I've done and that I've been taught to do, what parts of the body I know them to impact, and how I go about my daily routine really. In summary, going into the cardio room is very, very effective if you are seeking to achieve fat loss, because what it's going to do is it's going to expend excess energy for you, and that's going to therefore utilise more calories. So it's great for that. But if you are looking for aesthetics, if you are looking for increased strength, you have to look elsewhere, and that's what we do really in the gym with the weights. So I will show you some of the programs that I've done. I will tell you what I know to be effective. I'll tell you the sorts of exercises that I've done to define certain parts of my body. My program tends to be divided into 2 main sections. One day I do all front body, and that is top to bottom, and that tends to involve pushing motions with various bits of equipment, which I can show you. Then the next day I will do back body, again top to bottom. That primarily involves pulling motions. I then have a rest day, and then I do the same again, front body on Thursday, back body on Friday. Sometimes I'll have a fifth session where I may, if I want to do some sort of cardio because I want to try and get into an energy deficit, very rarely that happens, but sometimes I may want to do that. Or I may just want to isolate a few muscles and maybe do a little bit more on abs and core or something like that. The very most that I will ever do is 5 sessions of an hour, and usually it is 4 sessions of an hour, and that is absolutely ample. Utilises tons of energy, stimulates your whole nervous system, and is enough to put all your muscles under load throughout the week in order to stimulate them to grow. It's very, very hard, by the way, to build muscle, particularly as a woman. And so when people say to me, be careful not to get too big, don't get too muscly, the chance would be a fine thing. It is so difficult to build muscle. Just to give you an example, over a period of a year, I actually achieved less than half a kilogram of muscle over my whole body. And that was being, pretty process driven, adhering to my plan sort of 90% of the time. And even so, it is very, very hard to build muscle. At the beginning though, it's very quick. So, between sort of 3 to 9 months, you get some really good gains, but it is only beyond that you start to sort of slow down. So just to give you an overview first of all of the front body exercises. So this is the leg extension. This is to hit the quads here to basically create a burn on this part of your leg, and it's as I said, it's a pushing motion. Normally for everything, we'll be doing between the 8 and 12 rep range. That's just enough to push you so that you're not comfortable, that you start to get an impact, but you more or less can do about 12 before you get to failure. Between about 8 and 12 is the right range, and then you can gradually start to increase your weight. So leg extension is a good one. The next one I would do is some sort of push. So actually both of these machines, this is not my normal gym, and I know to be the case that they are too wide for my body. Being sort of quite a petite woman, you're better off if you're going to try to get this part of your body to push like that. So if you're a guy, you would use these machines, but for me, I'm actually much better off picking up some dumbbells, sitting on the bench there and just doing a bench press, and that will get this part of the body. For the front, in terms of the biceps, again you can use dumbbells, and that will be bicep curls, so that's how we would achieve this. And then if you want to get these shoulders here, you can use the dumbbells again and start to hit this. So front body, pretty straightforward. Obviously all of that I've spoken about actually does utilise your core, but then you can isolate the core and start to do some various types of sit-ups. Either you can use a ball, you can use that machine over there. I can sort of demonstrate a few of them. All of them work, and it's really trying to isolate the lower part of your ab, upper part of your abs, and the middle and the sides as well. But the majority of work that you do in the gym, if you do it properly, is going to impact your core. So there's no need really to integrate it every single day into your program. So that's front body. Back body is all about pulling. So if you think about all the back muscles, you really wanted to get the back of your legs, you want to get your bum, you want to get your back, you want to get your back of your arms as well. So we start off with the back of the legs, and we would normally go to leg curl. Now normally you would see a leg curl and it'd be a lying down, so you'd lie down and you pull your legs like that. But on this one, you're sort of pushing them underneath. So you sit here and you start to push it down. So you have to faff about with the settings a little bit, depending on the size of your legs. Mine are quite small, and you're trying to get the backs of your legs here. So basically you're just pulling it down like that. And you're holding it, you're squeezing it, you're bringing it up, but you're trying to keep tension on the muscle all the time. And as I said with the others, between sort of 8 to 12 range is enough to tire out the muscle, put a bit of stress on it so that it grows hopefully without completely wearing you out. So I normally would do 3 sets of 12 on that. So that's to get the back of the legs here and the bum as well. Other things to get the bum are lunges, that gets the legs as well, and also something called Romanian deadlifts, RDLs. When you don't have a big bar like we don't here, you can do that by using sort of individual dumbbells, and I can show you that here now. So you pick up a couple of dumbbells, but problem is with this, that to lift this sort of weight of dumbbell without just in your bare hands means you've got quite a strong grip. But basically this is all about, really this is a hip joint exercise. This is getting the hip, this is doing that. People think it's moving your hips like this. So you try and keep your legs still. You're pushing your knees back basically, and you're sort of doing that. And it's a hip exercise. I'll show you from the side. Took me ages to, wouldn't even say I'm mastering it now, but I can do with a bar. I can do, this morning I did 72 kgs, which is quite heavy for me. I think I'm, well, 48, I should be, I'm 50 at the moment. But you can do it just as well like this. But it's just pushing the hips. You do about 8 to 12 of these. You go as heavy as you possibly can. You keep your back straight, your shoulders back and down. And that's basically an RDL, and that really gets your bum and the back of your legs. But as I say, you have to improvise really. When you're in a gym like this, in an ideal world, you'd be in a proper gym where you have a proper deadlift bar. So but that gets that part. Squats is the other thing, and lunges, which really does get the bum and all round legs. And so you're holding weights, as I said. And the important thing there is that you get the back leg as close to the floor as you possibly can. So you're you're like that, and you're doing reasonably wide steps, and you're holding the weights, and you're coming down as low as you can. And obviously with no weights it's very, very easy, but if you're holding heavy weights, that gets harder and harder, and you really feel it all around here, and you feel your bum as well. And then of course you want to get your back. Again, when you're in a makeshift gym like this, if you can do pull-ups, which I can't, then you'd be holding there, you'd be pulling it up, and you'd be getting all of this area here. But I actually like to do neutral grip row, and I like to do pull downs. Of course you just don't have that here. But again, you know, you can do that. Just basically take a weight. I'll just take an 8 now, just for ease, just to show you. And you can either do 2, or you can do 1 at a time. And the whole idea is you've got to try and get this back. You're trying to get this back area here, and which is mainly the lats. And as I've learned, the lats are sort of a really big long muscle that run all the way down from there down to here, and this is what gives you the definition in the back. So you're sort of pulling up as heavy as you can there. A reasonably lightweight like this, you can just do it bent over. Do both of them at the same time. So you're sort of doing that and trying to really feel it in your back, more like that maybe, like that. But you're trying to get your back here. You're gonna keep everything as tight as you can and move that. So that's really your back. You can improvise, and you can, once you know the muscles that you're trying to target, this is something that I really only learned once I started training on my own. You know, it can be, when you have a personal trainer, people think that, you know, it's a luxury, and you know, it is obviously, and that it's much easier doing that. But the thing is, when you have a personal trainer, is that you literally, I anyway, just do what they said. It wasn't until I started to train on my own that I really started to think much more about the muscle groups that I wanted to target, understand much more about what those muscles are, how they all work, and how to put pressure on them to create the body shape that I was looking for. So there is a big advantage to you training on your own, and also what you start to do is monitor the weight, the number of reps, and if you're like me and you're driven for progress, that is actually a way that you can actually make progress a lot more quickly. Because, you know, I use an app now called Heavy Sets, and I document all the workouts that I do. I am now much more au fait with not only the techniques to get the maximum impact, but also I know exactly what I'm lifting, how many reps I'm doing, and the progress that I'm making. And finally, if you want to get the backs here, these tricep areas, which obviously are really important for women in particular, this is a great one. Normally you'd use 2 ropes, but just 1 is fine. You hold them like this equally. You stand upright, you stand still, and you're pulling it down like that. You're trying to get these back muscles here. I hope you can see those flexing. You keep this arm up, and you're pulling. And once you do that, for 10 or 12 reps, you can really start to feel it. If you want to get your back more, you sort of do it more like that. You do it straight, come out further, and then you can really start to feel your back much more. So these things are really all flexible once you start to learn how to do it. Should bend, I think. Anyone who's a personal trainer watching this is going to criticise my technique, but it's just to give you an idea. But you start to think about your back, body, divide it into sections like I've just done, You can get the rest of it. Side shoulders, and the back shoulders as well. You need to start doing these. 1, do about 10 of those. Really feel that. And depending on the angle, will be, you know, where you're going to get the side of the shoulder, or more the back of the shoulder, or the top of the back. So all of these can be sort of modified, but awareness is the key. Being aware of the muscle that you're trying to target and not just going through the motions is the key really to successful training, is what I've learned. And I really do think that you need to get access to a gym. You know, having a personal trainer is a different ball game. It's very expensive, I understand that. It is something though that I think that everyone should try to take advantage of at some stage. But the basic gym membership, going to a gym, I think everyone should do it, I really do. There are such cheap gyms now you can join, you know, for like less than the cost of a couple of lunches really. So I'd highly recommend that. Join a gym, get yourself into a regime, go, start experimenting. You'll see personal trainers walking the floor as well there, and just, you know, offering to help, because clearly they want the business and they want you to sign up with them. So take the help they'll give you, and there's some great books as well. There's the UP Fitness book. We'll put it on the link in the workbook, and that gives you all the workouts and all the techniques. And there's so many YouTube videos now which will show you the correct techniques to do things. So that's it. That's back body. You know, each workout for me takes an hour. I try to divide it into 6 main exercises with a 7th one, which is a variable. The first 2 exercises tend to be 4 sets of 8. The next 2 tend to be, this is, you know, what I've been taught, tend to be 3 sets of 10, and then the next 2 exercises tend to be 3 sets of 12. And then the last one, which is the 7th exercise, I say I just sort of will do whatever I feel like doing. Sometimes it might be shoulders, or it might be some sit-ups, and I'll just sort of really go for it in that one. And then if I feel that, you know, I need to sort of get my heart rate up a little bit, then there's lots of things you can do. You can pick these big balls up here, these slammer balls. I like doing this. Let's get this one. And doing a few of these can really wear you out. So, you know, as finishers, just doing about 12 of those will wear you out. And also if they've got big battle ropes, which I don't think are in here, you know, there's big ropes, you get those and sort of do that, and that will wear you out. Simple push-ups, anything to sort of wear you out at the end. And if that's not available, jump on the treadmill and do some what we call dead treads. I'll show you those if you want, because dead treads are a killer. This is another good finisher actually. It's quite a fun machine as well. I like to call it the throne, because you feel sort of very in a commanding position when you're in the gym, and normally they position it somewhere you can see everything, but it's really it's supposedly for abs. So just basically doing that, and you do 12 sets of these, sorry, 3 sets of 12. And as you really keep your legs up a bit slowly, it starts to really get to your abs. I'll show you dead treads quickly. Thank you. So these are not your traditional, obviously if you want to do a bit of cardio, everyone knows how to do that, and I do that. But I've been told that a more effective way of doing a quick bit of cardio after a workout is to put it on top incline and then just walk for 20 minutes. I've done that quite a lot of times, and you know, you ought to be able to sort of hold a conversation while you're doing it. But a real killer is this thing called dead treads. I'll show you. Basically, you don't switch it on, just get the thing running, and you do it for 30 seconds. Do it for the full 30 seconds, but that really does get your heart rate up. And if you do 10 of those, 30 on, 30 off, you can't breathe very well at the end of it, and definitely does the trick of burning a few calories. So at the beginning of my fitness journey, when I needed to really lose some body fat as well, I was doing a whole hour's worth of weightlifting, and then I was doing this, or I was doing the bike and something similar. And then in between times I was doing 2 or 3 20-minute runs. So lots of options for losing body fat and building weights, and
And as I say, alternating between front body and back body means that you get a complete body workout each time, and you target all the main muscle groups, and hopefully end up with the sort of physique that you're looking for, which is obviously different for everybody. Out of breath now.